Listen, the first thing you got to understand is that everything starts with you. Too many people out here are worried about what somebody else is doing, comparing themselves, watching other people's moves like they're spectators in their own lives. But if you want to elevate, if you want to grow, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you got to lock in. You got to make yourself the number one priority. And that means putting in the work every single day, regardless of who's watching. And see, the problem is most people don't take themselves seriously. They'll invest in everything else, distractions, social media, other people's opinions, but they won't invest in themselves. They want success, but they don't want to sacrifice. They want growth, but they don't want to put in the time. You can't be out here waiting for motivation. You can't be waiting for somebody to come save you, push you, or give you permission. You got to decide. You got to make a commitment to yourself that you are going to get better no matter what. And when I say better, I mean all of it. Your mind, your body, your discipline, your skills. Some of you wake up every day with a dream, but you ain't got no plan. Some of you want success, but you're stuck in the same habits, the same mindset, the same excuses. It's not about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside you. The moment you shift your focus from them to you, everything changes. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, and you start executing. You got to wake up every day asking yourself, what am I doing to improve? What books am I reading? What skills am I sharpening? What bad habits am I breaking? Because listen, nothing is going to change until you change. You can't expect different results while doing the same thing. You can't expect growth while still playing small. You got to challenge yourself. You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to push past your comfort zone because that's where the real breakthroughs happen. And let me tell you something, this is not about being selfish. This is about being intentional. Too many of you are giving your time and energy to things that don't serve you. You're out here worried about people who wouldn't even notice if you stopped talking to them. You're spending hours scrolling through somebody else's highlight reel while your own dreams are collecting dust. Enough of that. It's time to put all that energy into self. It's time to invest in the one person who can truly change your life view. Stop looking for approval. Stop looking for validation. Stop waiting for somebody to clap for you. Clap for yourself. Celebrate your small wins. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined. Stay locked in. And when the distractions come, and trust me, you got to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You got to remind yourself that every minute wasted is a minute you'll never get back. The truth is, focusing on yourself isn't always easy. It means saying no to things that don't align with your vision. It means making sacrifices. It means stepping away from people who don't push you to be better. Some of why all are too afraid to be alone. But let me tell you something, solitude is where the real work happens. When you're alone, there's no noise, no opinions, no outside pressure, just you and your grind. That's when you get to really figure out who you are, what you want, and what you're willing to do to get it. And listen, when you truly focus on yourself, you don't have to announce it. You don't have to post about it. But you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Your results will speak for you. Your growth will show. People will notice, but by the time they do, you'll already be 10 steps ahead. So make a decision today. No more distractions. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Focus on yourself. Stay disciplined. And watch how your life changes. And let me tell you something. Silence is power. Some of why I'll talk too much. You tell everybody your next move before you even make it. You let people into your business who don't need to be there. You're out here announcing things that aren't even real yet. And then you wonder why nothing is working out. Listen to me, sometimes the best thing you can do is stay quiet and let your actions do the talking. See, when you talk too much, you invite doubt. You invite opinions. You invite negativity. You ever notice how the moment you share a big goal, people start telling you why it won't work? They start questioning you. They start projecting their own fears onto you. And if you're not careful, you start believing them. You start second-guessing yourself. That's why you got to move in silence. Protect your vision. Keep your dreams close. Let people see the results, not the process. Some of why I'll waste so much energy explaining yourselves to people who ain't even doing half of what you're doing. You're looking for approval from folks who have never taken a risk in their life. You're sharing your ideas with people who can't see past their own limitations. Listen to me, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't need permission to chase your dream. You don't need validation to become great. You just need to put your head down and grind. And let me tell you why silence is so powerful, because it keeps you focused. When you're always talking about what you're going to do, you trick yourself into thinking you're making progress when you're really just making noise. But when you stay quiet and put in the work, that's when things start to shift. That's when you start making real moves. That's when you start seeing real growth. I need you to understand something. Most people don't really want to see you win. They say they do, but deep down, they're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to slip up so they can say, I told you so. That's why you got to be careful who you share your journey with. Not everybody deserves access to your minds. Not everybody should know what's next for you. Some things are meant to be kept private until they're undeniable. And listen, silence doesn't mean you're not working. It doesn't mean you're not grinding. It doesn't mean you're not making moves. It means you're focused. It means you're disciplined. It means you're not distracted by unnecessary conversations and outside noise. Too many people are out here trying to prove something to everybody but themselves. Too many people are performing for social media instead of putting in real work. But let me ask you this, do you want likes or do you want legacy? Do you want attention or do you want success? Because real success don't need an announcement. Real success don't need a press release. Real success speaks for itself. And when you move in silence, you become unpredictable. People can't block what they don't see coming. They can't sabotage what they don't know exists. That's why the most successful people don't talk, they execute. They don't broadcast every move, they just make things happen. And by the time the world finds out, it's already done. Some of why all are giving away your power because you don't know how to keep things to yourself. You tell everybody your struggles. You tell everybody your next step. You share too much. And then you wonder why things don't go the way you plan. Listen to me, you got to protect your energy. You got to guard your progress. You got to lose your allowed to be okay with working in the dark. And let me be real with you, it's not always easy. Sometimes you want to share your wins. Sometimes you want to prove the doubters wrong. Sometimes you want to tell the world, look, I did it. But you got to resist that urge. You got to stay locked in. Because the moment you let go of the need to be seen, that's when the real breakthroughs happen. At the end of the day, you don't have to announce your greatness. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just put in the work. Just stay consistent. Just stay focused. And when it's time, when everything is in place, when you build something undeniable then, and only then will the world see what you've been up to. But by then, you won't even have to say a word. Your success will speak for you. Listen to me, energy is everything. Your energy is your most valuable resource, and some of y'all are wasting it on things that don't matter. You're spending time on arguments, on distractions, on things that have nothing to do with where you're trying to go. You're giving your power away to people who don't deserve it. And then you wonder why you're tired, why you're drained, why you don't have the strength to chase your goals. It's because you're letting things steal your energy that don't serve you. You ever notice how the most successful people don't entertain nonsense? They don't get caught up in drama. They don't waste time arguing about things that don't push them forward. That's because they understand the value of their energy. They know they need every ounce of it to execute their vision. And that's where you need to be. You need to start protecting your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. See, some of why y'all wake up every day, and before you even get started on your goals, you've already given half your energy away. You're scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to people who aren't even focused on you. You're letting negative comments ruin your mood. You're engaging in pointless conversations that add nothing to your future. And by the time you actually sit down to work on yourself, you're exhausted. You got nothing left. Not because you worked hard, but because you gave it all away to distractions. You got to start asking yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this conversation worth my focus? Is this situation worth my time? And if the answer is no, walk away. Let it go. Save your energy for the things that actually move the needle in your life. Some of why all are fighting battles that don't even matter. You're wasting time trying to prove yourself to people who don't even care. Let me tell you something, your energy is too valuable to be spent on proving anything to anybody. Let your work prove it. Let your results prove it. Let your success prove it. And listen, this applies to people too. Some of you are surrounding yourself with energy drainers, people who take from you but never give. People who always need something but never pour back into you. And you wonder why you feel stuck. You wonder why you feel exhausted all the time. It's because you're carrying dead weight. You're trying to move forward while dragging people who don't even want to walk. Let them go. Focus on you. You don't owe anybody your energy, especially if they're not adding value to your life. It's time to start being intentional about where your energy goes. That means cutting off distractions. That means setting boundaries. That means learning to say no. Some of why all are afraid to say no, because you don't want to upset people. But let me tell you something. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to your future. Every time you give your energy to something that doesn't serve you, you're robbing yourself of the energy you need to build the life you want. And let's be real, focusing your energy doesn't mean working nonstop. It doesn't mean grinding until you burn out. It means using your energy wisely. It means making sure that every action you take is getting you closer to your goal. It means making sure that every decision you make is serving your future. If it's not, then it's a waste. And you don't have time to waste. You ever notice how powerful you feel when you're locked in? When you're focused? When you're not distracted by nonsense? That's the power of energy conservation. That's what happens when you stop giving your power away. That's what happens when you wake up every day and say, I'm going to put my energy into things that make me better. That's the mindset that separates the people who succeed from the people who stay stuck. So from this moment on, I need you to be intentional. I need you to protect your energy. I need you to stop letting distractions steal your focus. I need you to stop letting people drain you. I need you to wake up every day and decide where your energy is going, because if you don't, the world will decide for you. And I promise you, it won't be in your favor. You got a mission, you got a purpose, and you need every ounce of your energy to bring it to life. Stop wasting it. Stop giving it away. Focus on what matters and watch how everything in your life starts to change. Let me tell you something, most people fail before they even start because they're too busy looking for approval. They're waiting on somebody to give them permission to be great. They're waiting for validation, for someone to pat them on the back and say, yeah, you're doing the right thing. But let me ask you this, what happens if nobody ever says it? What happens if nobody claps for you? What happens if nobody believes in you? Are you just going to stop? Are you just going to quit? Because if you need validation to move, you'll never get to where you're trying to go. See, some of you are addicted to approval. You post something, and if it doesn't get enough likes, you delete it. You start working on a dream, but the moment people don't support you, you start second-guessing yourself. You got big goals, but you're afraid to tell people because if they don't approve, you're scared you might be making the wrong decision. Listen to me, if you need somebody to tell you that you're good enough, that you're smart enough, that you're capable enough, you will always be controlled by their opinions. And the problem with that is most people don't see the vision you see. Most people don't understand what's inside of you. Most people are too busy doubting themselves to believe in you. So if you're waiting for them to validate you, you'll be waiting forever. You got to learn how to trust yourself. You got to learn how to move forward even when nobody is focused. Because the truth is, the people you're looking for approval from their opinion doesn't change your ability. Their belief doesn't make you more or less capable. You already have everything you need inside of you. But as long as you keep looking outside for validation, you'll never tap into it. You'll never unlock that next level because you're too busy trying to prove something to people who don't even matter. You ever notice how the greatest people in the world didn't wait for approval? They didn't need everybody to believe in them before they started moving. They didn't wait for applause. They didn't wait for permission. They believed in themselves first. They saw the vision before anybody else could. And that's what you got to do. You got to have that kind of confidence. You got to have that kind of faith in yourself. Even if nobody sees it, even if nobody understands it, even if people laugh at you, doubt you, criticize you, you got to be so locked in on your purpose that none of that matters. And let me tell you something, when you stop looking for approval, that's when you really become dangerous. That's when you start moving differently. That's when you start making real progress. Because now you're not waiting. You're not hesitating. You're not second guessing every decision. You're just working. You're just executing. You're just moving toward your goal every single day, regardless of who's watching, regardless of who's supporting, regardless of who's clapping. Some of you are delaying your own success because you're too afraid of what people might think. You're too worried about what your friends will say. You're too focused on whether your family approves. But let me ask you something, whose life are you living? Theirs or yours? Because if you keep living for their approval, you'll wake up one day and realize you never did what you wanted to do. You never chased your dreams. You never took the risks. You never became the person you were meant to be because you were too busy trying to fit into somebody else's expectations. You got to break free from that. You got to get to a place where you don't need a round of applause to do what you know you're meant to do. You got to be okay with walking alone sometimes. You got to be okay with being misunderstood. You got to be okay with people not getting it, not supporting it, not seeing what you see. Because the truth is, they're not supposed to see it. It's your vision, not theirs. It was given to you, not them. So stop expecting them to understand. Stop expecting them to believe. Stop expecting them to validate something they were never meant to carry. And here's the crazy thing, when you stop looking for approval and just start moving, people will start noticing. The same ones who doubted you will start asking how you did it. The same ones who didn't support you will start telling people they always believed in you. But by then, it won't even matter because you won't need their approval. You won't need their validation. You'll already be too far ahead. You'll already be winning. And the best part, you'll know you did it because you believed in yourself. And that right there is the only validation you will ever need. Too many people are stuck in the same place because they can't let go of the past. They keep replaying old failures, old mistakes, old disappointments like a broken record. Every time they try to move forward, they get pulled right back because they refuse to release what's behind them. But listen to me, if you're always looking back, you can't move ahead. If you're always focused on what went wrong, you'll never see what's possible. At some point, you got to make the decision to let go. See, some of you are carrying things that were never meant to go with you into your future. You're holding on to guilt, holding on to shame, holding on to regret like it's serving you, but it's not. It's only weighing you down. It's only keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. And I get it. You made some mistakes. You've been through some things. But let me tell you something everybody has. And you're not the only one who's fallen. You're not the only one who's failed. But the difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. The ones who are winning are the ones who refuse to stay stuck in the past. You got to stop punishing yourself for things you can't change. You got to stop letting old pain define you. What happened, happened. It's over. And I need you to hear me. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not the person you used to be. Every day you get a new opportunity to start over, but you can't take advantage of that if you're still holding on to things that no longer serve you. And some of you, it's not even your own mistakes holding you back. It's what somebody else did to you. You're still carrying anger, still carrying resentment, still carrying hurt from things people said or did years ago. And I get it, I do. Some of you have been through things nobody should have to go through. Some of you have been lied to, betrayed, abandoned. But let me ask you this, how long are you going to let that control you? How long are you going to let that moment in time define the rest of your life? Because every day you hold on to it, you're giving them power over you. Every day you stay stuck in what they did, you're letting them win. You can't heal in a place of resentment. You can't grow if you refuse to move on. And listen, moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean acting like it never happened. It means you refuse to let it have power over you anymore. It means you take your control back. It means you say, this thing happened, but it's not going to break me. It's not going to stop me from becoming everything I was meant to be. And let me be clear, letting go is not easy. It takes work. It takes a decision every single day to stop looking back and start focusing on what's ahead. But if you don't, you will never see what's possible. You will never experience real growth. You will never step into your full potential because your hands are too full of things that were never meant to come with you. And some of you, you've been holding on to fear. You've been holding on to the fear of failing again, the fear of getting hurt again, the fear of looking foolish. So instead of trying, instead of pushing forward, instead of taking risks, you stay stuck. You stay in the same place, convincing yourself that it's safer, convincing yourself that you're protecting yourself. Well, let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Fear will keep you small. Fear will steal your dreams. And the only way to beat it is to move forward anyway. At some point, you got to decide that your future is more important than your past. You got to decide that what's ahead is greater than what's behind you. You got to decide that you deserve better, that you deserve to heal, that you deserve to grow, because you do. But you can't step into your next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. So whatever it is that's been holding you back, whatever it is that's been weighing you down, it's time to let it go. It's time to move on. It's time to take your power back and step fully into who you were meant to be. And when you do, when you finally release everything that's been keeping you stuck, you realize something: you were never meant to stay in that place. You were always meant for more. And now, it's time to go get it. At some point, you have to stop talking and start doing. You have to stop telling people what you're going to do and actually show them. Because the truth is, the more you talk, the more energy you waste. You sit around telling everybody about your dreams, about your plans, about how one day you're going to do this and one day you're going to do that. But when is one day going to be today? When are you going to stop explaining yourself and start executing? Too many people spend more time announcing their moves than making them. They think that if they tell people what they're about to do, somehow that counts as progress. But let me tell you something: talking about it doesn't get it done. Talking about it doesn't move you forward. You can tell everybody you know about your vision, but if you're not putting in the work, if you're not making sacrifices, if you're not locked in behind the ball, see, real success doesn't need an announcement. The greats don't have to tell you they're coming. You just see them show up. You see the results, you see the work. Because they understand that the energy they would spend trying to convince people is better used actually becoming what they said they would be. That's the difference between winners and everybody else. Winners move in silence. They let their success do the talking. They don't need approval. They don't need validation. They don't need applause. They just get to work. And when the results show up, everybody else can see for themselves. And some of you, the reason you're not where you want to be is because you're too worried about making an announcement before you've even taken the first step. You're too focused on getting recognition before you put in the hours. You want people to know what you're doing, but what are you actually doing? Are you waking up early? Are you grinding when nobody's watching? Are you making the sacrifices? Or are you just talking about it, waiting for people to hype you up? Let me tell you something: nobody owes you excitement for something you haven't done yet. Nobody is going to believe in your dream more than you do. So instead of trying to convince people, instead of explaining yourself, instead of waiting for somebody to cheer for you, just put your head down and work. Because here's what happens when you move in silence: people don't see you coming. They don't know what you're up to. They don't know what's happening behind closed doors. And then one day, out of nowhere, you show up different. You show up better. You show up as the person you said you would be. And they don't even know how it happened. And let me be real with you: not everybody needs to know your next move. Not everybody needs to have access to your vision. But some of you are giving away too much. You're telling people your plans, and then you wonder why they start doubting you, why they start questioning you, why they start trying to talk you out of it. Listen, not everybody is meant to understand your journey. Not everybody is meant to support you. And that's okay. That's why you have to learn to keep certain things to yourself. Because the more you talk, the more opinions you invite. The more you share, the more negativity you attract. And before you know it, you're second guessing yourself. Not because you don't believe in your vision, but because you let somebody else plant doubt in your mind. So stop giving people that power. Stop sharing your every move. Stop looking for permission to be great. If you've got a dream, if you've got a goal, if you've got a purpose, then lock in and go after it. Let people wonder what you're up to. Let them be confused. Let them be curious. Because when you finally show up and they see what you built, what you've created, what you've become, that's when they'll understand. That's when they'll see what you were doing the whole time. But by then, you won't even need their validation. You won't need their approval because you'll already know you put in the work. You stayed focused. You stayed silent. And now the results speak for themselves.